how do you pay off debt? Duh! That's such a good question. I'm glad you asked. Oh my gosh, this is such a tough question, especially if you don't know how to do it and you haven't figured out the process for doing it. Even if you have figured out the process, it's still kind of difficult to figure it out. Anyways, what you need to do is get all your debt together, and you're going to know your minimum payments. You're going to know your balances and your interest rates. Those are all important. And you're going to write it all down on a piece of paper so you can see it all at the same time. And then when you're done throwing up, you're going to look at your balances. And if you're doing the snowball method, you're going to pick the balance that's the smallest. We're going to go for an easy win because we want that dopamine hit. So you're pick the balance that's the smallest and you're going to pay that off. You'll be like, yeah, look at me, I paid it off. And you'll be like, woohoo, look at me, yeah. And then you're going to pick the next smallest balance and you're going to pay that off. And you get the idea, it's like bam, 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 bam. You get all these wins. That's really great. You're feeling really good. And every time you get those smaller debts paid off, now you have more money to go to the next smallest debt and the next smallest debt and the next smallest debt. And then pretty soon your debt's paid off. Or you can do the avalanche method. Now the avalanche method is a little different. You go with the one that has the highest interest rate rather than the highest balance. So you go with whoever's charging the most in interest, and that's the one that you get paid off first. The problem with this is, and what affects some people, is that it takes forever to get it paid off because it's sometimes usually the higher balance ones too. So it just seems like you don't get anywhere on getting it paid off. Now you still have to make minimum payments on everything else. But with the avalanche method, when you start paying that one and you get it paid off, usually it's a pretty good chunk of money that you've been paying towards it, and then it goes to the next one. And it's like, poof, that one's gone. And then that money and that money go to the next one, poof, that one's gone. And you can see it just becomes this avalanche, and you're able to get rid of all your debt really, really fast. But that first one that you try knocking off is such a pain in the butt. It's gonna be really, really hard. You're gonna wanna give up so many times. But if you find yourself in that predicament where you're like, go pay off one of those small ones and get the little dopamine hit that you need, and then come back to your previously scheduled program and start paying on your avalanche. Now the benefit of an avalanche is that you're paying less overall because you're knocking out the highest interest rates. So you're knocking out the debts that are charging you the most amount of money, and theoretically you're saving money. But it doesn't matter which way you choose. The only thing that matters is that you get your debt paid off and you get out from underneath that boulder that you've been carrying around, and you haven't been able to do anything like go on a nice vacation because you're in so much debt.